By coincidence, when I read that letter of revocation, actually had some American citizens visiting me. They came for the Badagry Door Return Festival. And from there, they came to visit in Abeokuta. I wasn't there, but they were made at home and were able to go around the place, even have some palm wine. So to begin with, at the beginning, I said, could it be that they're angry that I'm hosting their citizens just when they're reconsidering, or they've invited me to bring in a visa for reconsideration? I don't know how many of you read or saw the press statement which I made at the time when I received a letter. That is, we're going back now, 2 weeks before this letter, when I received a letter asking me to bring back my passport because certain facts may have come up since the visa was issued. And I was given a date to report at the consulate with my passport. I declined the invitation. First of all, I didn't like the date. Everybody knows what happened on that date, November 11, many years ago. So it was rather unfortunate that they picked that date. And I said, sorry, I'm superstitious. I'm not coming on that date. And then ultimately, I made it clear I was also not going to apply for another date to bring in passport. So I left. I traveled out. When I came back, even before I came back, I got a letter from the ambassador. So I got a letter from the ambassador. Very nice letter, very courteous. I wish always to stress this, that I have absolutely nothing against individual citizens as citizens of any nation. This is an issue which concerns the government. I have continuing good relationship with members of consulate, the embassy. I received nothing but courteous treatment from them, which is courteous. And so I received this letter in which he informed me that he was away when that letter was sent, and that if I would please give me a call, we'll try and explain the circumstances and so on and so forth. When I came back again, I got a letter, a reminder that I should call it. So I called. We arranged a call. I think it was 4 o'clock about a week ago. And he explained, and again he offered a special visit by me, be received by the consul, and they would ask a few questions about the possible facts which existed that they didn't know about when this visa was issued. He spoke, and he spoke frankly, and I said, shall I be equally frank with you? I'm not interested. It has nothing to do with me personally. It has to do with the treatment which I know, the brutal, cruel, and often unbelievable treatment being meted out to strangers, immigrants, even in some cases, permanent residents, which of course include quite a number of Nigerians. I know of a number of Nigerians who were turned back, who live in the United States, who've lived there all their lives. Some of them have businesses, they have grown-up children, families who are even citizens of that country, but who just left in the normal way to visit home, and then found at the airport they weren't allowed to get on that plane. Because in the meantime, either their visas were under examination or had in fact been revoked, but they were not allowed to go back, etc., etc. I don't want to You all know what's been going on. It's all over the media. You have friends, you have families there. So I said, it's not about me. I'm not really interested in going back. Yes. I said, but a principle is involved. Human beings deserve to be treated decently wherever they are, wherever they drop their buckets, even places where they're just visiting briefly. I said, I'm sorry, I will not apply for it. So decided and said he was very sorry, but that meant that my visa would be revoked. I said, by all means, willing to receive the letter of revocation. And I assured him that both he and his staff are given permanent visa waiver anytime they want to visit the Autonomous Republic of Ijegba, situated in Abeokuta. There will be no reciprocal conduct from my principality. So he left, and eventually, of course, the formal letter arrived. So it's necessary for me to give this press conference so that people in the States who are expecting me for this event or that event, or were thinking of it, not to waste their time. I have no visa. I am banned, obviously, from the United States. And if you want to see me, you know where to find me. It's elementary, like that. I don't want us to trivialize or dilute what is happening today in the United States. I would like us to focus very heavily on it. You're right to raise this because it's affecting us already. It'll affect us sooner or later. I'm not suggesting for one moment Africa is clean or Africa contains a model of civilized conduct. No, I'm not saying that. I'm concerned by scenes like an African head of state being humiliated by this administration, like Ramaphosa, Cyril Ramaphosa was. His treatment, Donald Trump, the ambush laid for him with a false video, which purported treatment, even quote-unquote genocidal treatment of white people. And therefore, while on the one hand, that administration was saying, I don't want to see anybody from those shit countries, among which were African nations, at the same time, receiving not even genuine white South Africans who were supposedly being maltreated. He was offering them instant citizenship, while shit countries, quoting Mexico, Nigeria, their wages, were being told, even having the documents revoked. So we're not whitewashing any country here. If you like, I will remind you of Ghana must go conduct in this very nation, and retaliation on the other side. I know what we did to counter that kind of conduct from that government. I think the Shagari's government at the University of Ife, when we declared that space sanctuary for any Ghanaian who wanted to stay there, and who stayed there, couldn't be touched. So I know what we do. There are balances. We have negative, we have positive. But today, I'd like us to talk about the kind of condition into which the world is sliding as a result of what is going on in the quote-unquote democratic bastion of the world. I want us to consider for a change, one or two things. Otherwise, we'll wander in different directions.